What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to actually become a millionaire in crypto, how to actually make a ton of money by trading cryptocurrency. And we could sit here and talk about this coin, that coin, do this, do that. This is the best strategy. But when it comes down to it, it is taking profits. If you are unwilling to lock in profits, if you don't have a strategy or a plan to take profits, then that money will never be realized and you very well might round trip your entire bag from your entry to being up 10x back down to your entry. So in today's video, it's going to be incredibly simple. I'm going to just give you an example of a strategy you could use to take profits the entire way up during the next bull run. I would highly recommend watching this video all the way through because I do think it has valuable information that you're going to want to use during this next cycle. Remember guys, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate your time. Also remember to check out my premium Discord in the description below. We are running a 25% off sale for a limited time. Okay, so we've established that the only way to actually make money in crypto is to realize those gains. And in order to do that, you're going to need some sort of profit-taking strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a couple tools and sentiment tools that I have used in the past that have helped me judge whether or not right now is a good time to take profits or not. So the very first tool that I would recommend people just keeping an eye on during the next cycle is going to be the fear and greed index for cryptocurrency. And what this basically does, it takes a lot of data and aggregates it into a easy to understand kind of sliding scale on whether or not the cryptocurrency space in general is fearful or greedy or more neutral. And while this tool is not going to be perfect, it does give you a general sense as to where the market is leaning in terms of overall sentiment. So if we are deep in the red in fearful, then obviously there is some sort of FUD event taking place, and that could very well represent an opportunity to buy. On the opposite side, if it is extreme greed and people on Twitter and maybe the grandma at your gas station or your father or your brother is asking you how to invest in cryptocurrency, this might be an opportunity for you to take some profits off the top. So that's a good segue into the next thing you can use to help identify whether or not it is time to take profits, and that is just going to be overall sentiment with the people around you. At least in my experience during the couple cycles that I've been a part of since 2016, it is very obvious when things start to get a little bit overheated. Every coin under the sun is mooning. Everybody in my life is talking about crypto or asking about crypto, wondering what I'm doing with my crypto. And that is just one sign out of many for you to start thinking, when the masses and the normies start to talk about this stuff, usually that symbolizes some sort of blow off top imminent within the next few months. So make sure you keep your head on a swivel and don't drink the Kool-Aid. If you're able to develop some sort of plan and stick to it and keep a cool and level head during this next cycle, you're gonna make so much more money than the vast majority of people who are just FOMOing into every green candle and every new coin that they see. I actually remember scheduling an appointment for some sort of chiropractic event, and then that person, the person who was adjusting me, actually came over to me and started asking me about cryptocurrency, asking if I had heard about this coin. And to me that was like, okay, this random person who I've never met before is talking about XRP and it going to $4 or $5. This is a huge sign that we might be just a little bit overheated in the market. And that's one of those events that I will always remember, even though it was years ago. It is to this day something that I will always think about during these bear and bull cycles. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hop into a chart and graph that I have made for you guys to kind of demonstrate how I would take profits more systematically throughout the next bull market. So we're going to use a hypothetical scenario of you having 100 ETH. You have dollar cost average through a certain window and you now have 100 ETH and you're looking to understand and develop a plan around how to take profits on that ETH throughout the next cycle. All right guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this trading view graph and I'll break down exactly how this strategy works. But the strategy is incredibly simple and we're going to use 100 ETH to make things even more simple. And so how it works is, let's say that you dollar cost average between $600 and $600 here for $30,000. And let's just say you spent $300 per Ethereum. That would give you 100 Ethereum. And so our main goal should be during the bear market is to identify price targets in which we'll sell portions of our bag. So let's assume going into this next bull market that we have 100 Ethereum. And let's assume that we were able to accumulate that Ethereum for $300 each. So we spent $30,000, and how we'll do it is every $500 we will take a certain percentage of our Ethereum stack off the top. So at $1,500 ETH, we will take 5% of our profits for $7,500. At $2,000 ETH, we will take another 5% for $10,000, 10% at $2,500 for $25,000, another 10% at $3,000 Ethereum for $30,000, another 20% at $3,500 Ethereum for $70,000, another 20% at $4,000 Ethereum for $80,000. And then let's just assume that we get a random sell at the very top of the next cycle at $4,500 Ethereum. We'll sell 30% of our Ethereum at the very last 30 Ethereum that we have for $135,000. Okay, so after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sells, your total profit minus the $30,000 that you spent would be $327,000 in profit before taxes. So you might say, you know, why didn't I just sell 100% of my Ethereum at $4,500 and make, you know, $500,000 to $1 million? And the answer to that question is very few people are ever going to be able to do that. And a guaranteed bet for you to systematically dollar cost average out of the market, just like you did getting into the market. So I'll ask you, would you rather have $30,000 or would you rather have $300,000? And 100% of you will say the $300,000. And that's exactly my point. Instead of potentially round tripping your bag from your entry at $300 ETH all the way up to $4,500 and back down because you refused to sell or didn't know when to sell or didn't have a plan, or even worst case scenario, kept buying and now you're down, this is the solution to that. So it's a simple ladder of profits that you'll take systematically throughout the cycle. You will also have to understand at what point of the cycle do you stop buying, right? So let's just say you had conviction in Ethereum and you stopped buying around $1,000. And let's just say your average was 300. That's how we got 100 ETH. That's when you would stop buying. And from there and only up from there, you would just continue to sell. You wouldn't be buying anymore. So develop a plan, set price targets in which you'll sell your pieces of your portfolio during the next cycle. Obviously, this is a super simplified version because we have a round number of Ethereum. We only are holding one coin. And obviously in hindsight, we know the current price that it will go to, which is why I also say, once you have a plan, feel free to get a little bit creative with it and be a little bit flexible with it as long as you stick to it in the long term. So for instance, let's say, you know, obviously during this period, the price shot up very aggressively, and not knowing where the top might be, maybe we do sell 10% instead of 5%, or maybe we just bring this line up and we sell 10% at $2,000 ETH instead of 5 at 15 and 5 at 2,000. So I think you guys are starting to understand you can get flexible with it, but you do have to be taking profits during the whole cycle, or you're most definitely going to get wrecked like the vast majority of people do who try to trade cryptocurrency. So yeah, you could change, you know, this 5 to a 10, this 5 to a 20. You could even change this 30 to a 50 and then adjust the rest of your numbers. If you're going to set higher price targets, and that is where you're going to say, this is where I want to sell the majority of my portfolio, then that's obviously going to be a riskier plan than something like this, where I'm going 5, 5, 10, 10, 20, 20, 30. You could do something like, you know, 10, 10, 80, or 20, 20, 60, you know, whatever you wanted to do. Obviously, those are going to be more risky, and potentially you might miss out on some gains because you never reach your price target, and then you're scrambling to adjust your scenario and start taking profits potentially as things start to crash. And to be honest, that's totally fine as long as you're making money. Your strategy works, and your strategy, I give 2 thumbs up as long as you're making money. Just make sure that you do take profits so you make money. This right here, these sort of plans are going to help you stick to your conviction and actually help you accumulate wealth, accumulate that USDC, accumulate USD, or whatever your native currency is, to actually better your life. Bag holding a cryptocurrency for 10, 15, 20 years or through an entire cycle is not necessarily going to. You have to learn to rip the band-aid off and take profits, and doing something just like this, where you set price targets, rigid price targets with a little bit of flexibility, is going to greatly help you do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to subscribe to my channel. I have tons more videos coming throughout this bear market, and I will be pumping them out during the bull market as well. I do still happen to think that 2024, the second half of 2024, and potentially leading into 2025 is going to be a fairly bullish time for cryptocurrency. If you had watched one of my latest videos, which I would highly recommend you do, I talk about 4 of the biggest reasons as to why we might see a huge bull run in the next year or two. So stay up to date in the markets, turn your dollar cost average on, sit on your bags, develop a strategy, and make sure you take profits during the next bull run when everybody is buying, because you want to do the opposite of what almost everybody's doing. That's how you win in cryptocurrency. If you guys want to be able to ask questions to me directly or gain access to a bunch of really knowledgeable people or incredibly useful tools to help you make money in cryptocurrency, check out my link in the description below to join my private Discord community. We are running a 25% off code right now, which is a limited time thing to allow new people to join. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the very next one. Peace.